Hey guys, it's in a rush. Agnes, it's gotta leave the house soon. Agnes. Okay, I'm just gonna sit for I really do need to leave soon. I've got a lot of makeup on for this early in the morning. I just reshot CHRISTMESS day one. I don't know when you guys are watching this, honestly. I wonder if anyone's figured out yet that it's not necessarily occurring in chronological order. That would be too difficult, okay? That'd be too difficult. So I shot my first video weeks ago, and I was super duper awkward in front of the camera. And now I'm perfect. So, I mean, I thought, obviously I don't think I'm perfect, embarrassing. I thought that I would reshoot it because I knew that now I could do like a much more natural. So I just put on some red lipstick, put on a Christmas jumper and went for it. It's not perfect, but you know, that's seriously not what I'm aiming for here. That I did rearrange some stuff in the flat because I was trying to make a good impression to all of you. Excuse me. That was rude. Because I was trying to make a good first impression. First impressions matter, you know? But now I need to put the flat back to order because I told you guys I was going to Copenhagen. I said that I would film it while I was there. I lied. I lied last time. I mean, I filmed like some, I'm sorry, I'm also just loudly making a coffee. I filmed lots of touristy stuff while we were out and about, but I didn't actually film any of me talking because, frankly, at that point, still, I was too embarrassed to be filming in front of people. You know, the whole thing was very embarrassing. But now, I don't give a shit. So here we are. I'm packing to go to Copenhagen. And I wanted to tell you guys a little something about my situation. I have not spoken about this before. I have a pretty unusual home setup. I'm gonna have to keep this really brief. Let me give you the highlights. In 2018, I promise you this is the short version. In 2018, I happened to be living alone for the first time in a little while. I was living alone in a flat and I was working by myself for the first time. So I was living by myself and working by myself, and it was a lot. And just coincidentally, at the same time, my mum and my sister ended up like deciding to live together, which is pretty unusual because we're like all a bit older. I mean, like me and my sister was like in her 20s, 30s? I can't remember how young, how old, how young. She's very young. I don't know what age we were, but it was like around about that time in our lives. And so she ended up, God, I was meant to keep this brief. She ended up randomly living with my mum again, because my mom and my dad had just separated and my mum was getting her first house since being single. My mum didn't really have any desire to live by herself. My sister didn't have any desire to live by herself. My sister was just moving back to like our home area to get her first job after uni. So they decided to live together temporarily. They thought it'd be like, yeah, good company for each other, and then they would see what happened. So they moved in together. I got like the worst FOMO of my entire life. I think I tried to pretend that I thought it was really uncool to begin with. I was like, oh my God, like in your late 20s and you just moved in with your mom. That's so sad. And then 2 days later, I was like, please, can I move in? I'm so lonely. So I moved in with them. Our dog died. God, is this a really sad story? My parents just separated and then our dog died. Our dog died like pretty much as soon as they moved in with each other. And we were all absolutely heartbroken. And for some reason, I mean, it did turn out pretty well, but we decided it would be a really good idea to just get a puppy. Pretty much straight away, not to like replace our dead dog, but it's just the excitement of having like new life in the house. And it was so weird. I'm getting my coffee. It was so weird to not have a dog. Like when you're used to just the pitter patter of tiny claws on the floor. It was so weird to not have a dog. So at that point, I was living with them already, and we got a dog. We got a puppy. Absolutely gorgeous, Bunty, love of my life. And we realized that it worked really well. So my mom was retired, my sister was working out of the house, and I was working in the house. So we were able to, between us, have a dog. And none of us, if we were living alone, would have been able to have a dog. We just, like, our schedules, we wouldn't have managed. But altogether, it was totally achievable. And at that point, we kind of started concocting a really weird plan. We were like, well, if this works with a dog, how well might it work when my sister and I start having kids? And how well could it work when my mum gets quite old? And, you know, it's an unusual thing in the West, certainly for multiple generations to live under one roof. But in the East, like, it's really not that unusual. Even some places in the West, like, I think there's other European countries that this is a way more common phenomenon. Well, that word, it literally has no meaning anymore. So I couldn't even tell you, which is phenomenon. Anyway, you know what I mean, probably. So we decided that that could work. But we knew we needed to have enough privacy away from each other that we weren't like, it didn't feel like we were under one roof with not enough space away from each other. At that point, we were all single. So the thought of like trying to date for any of us whilst being in a small house with each other, like, it just wasn't going to work. So we thought it'd be really cool if we could build some custom made thing where we were able to be close with each other, but have privacy away from each other. I'm so sorry that I'm like panting. I realize I've been sitting down for a little while, but the hell was I saying? This story was meant to be short, snappy. So my mum met her partner just a little bit after this, and he was into the idea and also had, I don't know, not to be crude about it, but I guess had some of the funds that was going to take us sort of in the right direction. And it actually started to seem like a real possibility. We're like, well, if we can find one man who's into it, then maybe this is actually going to work. Because our fear was like, for me and my sister anyway, was, are we going to be single forever if we choose to do this? Because our living situation is going to be so strange. So my mum met her partner. My sister then met her partner, who was also keen. And at this point, I think maybe we had started drawing up plans. We'd maybe also found a plot of land that we were keen to build on. So we started to design a custom made house where we essentially have 3 spaces away from each other. They're not entirely self-contained. We did think about doing that, like literally 3 small homes, but the add-on of like 3 roofs and 3 sets of exterior walls, it got really, really expensive really quickly. So if you bring all that space under one roof, it was a lot cheaper. So from the outside, our home, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we started to draw up these plans. At this point, I was still single. And so I managed to get the bottom portion of the house. So I have my own front door, which at the time felt really important because I was like, if I have a guy coming over, I don't want them to have to come in my front door and like meet my mom. That's so embarrassing. So those were the plans. We drew them up. Took such a long time to build. It took such a long time to build. Bearing in mind, in this space of time, like COVID had happened. My sister and her partner had a baby together. So during COVID, my mum ended up moving out of our little house, but me and my sister stayed there. We had the most blessed COVID experience. Honestly, we were just hanging out by ourselves every day. Like, the weather in 2020 in Scotland was, mwah, it was gorgeous. So my sister met her partner. He moved in with us. Like around about the time when they were having their baby. So that was honestly such an added bonus that I really hadn't considered. Like, I knew that I was going to live with my sister's kids if all went well, but I had no idea how much I would be involved. Like, I thought, oh, cool, I'm like a live-in auntie. No, like second mom kind of vibes. I've lived with her entire life. So we were in this tiny house, me and my sister and her partner and the baby. We were there for much longer than we should have been because the build was taking a really long time. Then we finally managed to move into our new house. And this is how we live now. So this does come back to Copenhagen in a way, because today I am going to meet my mum and my sister and my niece off the plane from Scotland. And I am so excited because, like I said, she's not my niece. She's like my daughter, and I've been separated from her for a month. Yeah, just coming up to a month. Oh, first 2 weeks I was here, I was so homesick. I was calling her multiple times a day. Obviously, she's 2, she doesn't have a phone, but I would call anyone that I thought was with her, like video calling her. And we've had so many video chats where I show her where I'm living and stuff. She takes me around the house, like jogging with the phone in her hand to say hi to the dogs and stuff. It's so cute. I skipped a thing. When we were planning the build, I was still single. When it was beginning to be executed, I met my partner. And actually from the get-go, we were both pretty committed to not living a kind of traditional sense. Although I was already doing something pretty non-traditional, we'd kind of agreed at that point that there was no pressure for him to say, yes, I'm going to move into your commune. It's essentially what it is. He was like, I think I'll just keep my place and you can have your place and we'll see what happens in the future. And that's kind of how things have stuck. That was 4 years ago. So yeah, that's worked out really well. So in my bit of the house, I have my own bathroom, living room, bedroom, like all behind a door. It felt really important that we all had bathrooms and living space away from each other so that we can have privacy when we want. And you guys are going to get to see that space in a little while when I'm at home. So that is my intergenerational communal living situation. It's cute most of the time. Sometimes it's hellish, but what are you going to do? No one's living situation is ideal. I'm going to talk about it a lot more in the future because there were unexpected pros and cons for me. And sometimes it's really hard. That's what she said. There's no time. I've not got any time for this. So I'm meeting my mum, my sister, my niece. I'm super pumped. My brother-in-law is also in Copenhagen just now. So I'm going to go and see them all tonight. And I'm really excited. Okay, that's it. It's a whirlwind tour. I think I told that totally in the wrong order. You probably have more questions now than you did before. I'll answer them all at some point. I think communal living is awesome, FYI. Okay. I have to go like very soon. I have to get this, dead foot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, this is a very ungraceful ending of a, bye guys, take good care of yourself. I'm gonna go take my stupid lipstick off, put a hoodie on and get on the bloody bus. Bye. Thanks for watching Christmas Day, whatever. Bye. Hey guys. It's Train Agnes. Let me just check. My microphone is on. This probably sounds terrible because I'm literally on a plane. Also, it's going to be so shaky because the camera's just in my hand / leaning against something metal rather than like being on my tripod. So I'm stuck on a train. I mean, the door's open. You can see it here. I'm not literally stuck on a train. But I decided to get the toilet right next to me is flushing. I decided to get the train from Aalborg to Copenhagen, like for fun. It's a little bit cheaper than flying, but it's a 4-hour train and you get to see like, that's the main bulk of the Danish countryside. So we were like, oh, the train will be really good fun. I'll just get the train. And I wanted to travel earlier than Andreas so that I could get in to meet my family off the plane from Scotland. And we got to a station that's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. It's like a little town, but we got to a station and the train stopped and they said that we weren't going any further. So we've been traveling for like an hour and a half. So I still had 3.5 hours to go of my travel. So weirdly, right, before I got on the train, I was in a 7-Eleven and I got 2 sandwiches. Now, I couldn't tell you why I bought 2 sandwiches. I wasn't especially hungry. And I was like, I mean, I'm only on the train for 4 hours. I don't really need 2 sandwiches, but I seem to be buying them anyway. Now, I think I knew. I think I had some kind of premonition that this was going to happen. So basically, the train is stuck here. So a bunch of people left to go and try and get taxis, to like share a taxi. It's like 45 minutes, going to be really expensive, but share taxis to the next big town to maybe get a train there. So I got out, waited for a taxi for a while. Obviously, all of this is happening in Danish, so I'm having to ask people embarrassingly for like a translation. Please, can you tell me what's going on? So I waited for a taxi for a while. Then we found out that trains weren't even going from Aarhus. There was problems from their south as well. So, I mean, there was still an argument to be made for getting to Aarhus because you're like 45 minutes closer to your final destination. Oh, cramping my leg. Oh my God. Oh, I'm literally sitting on the floor of a train in order to film what I imagine is the first of many installments of the train diaries. This is tragic. So there's an argument to be made for going to Aarhus because at least you're a little bit closer. But from Aarhus, you don't have a train ticket. And if you booked a train ticket last minute, that means you don't automatically get a seat. So there'll probably be no seat. So even if you do manage to get on a train from Aarhus when the trains are back up and running, you're going to be standing probably for the rest of the 3-hour journey. Or if you try and get a bus from Aarhus, the likelihood is everyone else is also trying to get a bus from Aarhus. So I was standing in the cold waiting for a taxi with everyone else. And then the option of getting back on the train just seemed so much better. So I'm in the train, got back on the train. We've been told that they're trying to put a bus on for us to pick us up from here. And I assumed to take us all the way to Copenhagen. But because literally every other train that stopped in various parts of like, I think almost the whole of Denmark, they seem to also be looking for buses. So like, yeah, God only knows. I've said like about 100 times in this video. It's because I'm stressed. I'm not that stressed. I mean, I get to be in the warmth at least. It's so cold outside. I get to be in the warmth of the train at least, and I have a seat here, so I have like a guaranteed seat. But we've been told that we could be waiting anywhere from like half an hour to about 5 hours for a bus from here. So I've definitely missed my family's arrival in Copenhagen, which is not ideal, but they'll forgive me. And I'm pretty sure that like Andreas is going to fly to Copenhagen after work tonight. He will definitely be there before me now, which is super because I have his flat keys for Copenhagen. Perfect. And all of our stuff is with me because I was traveling the easier way because I was meant to be there first. So yeah, that's it. It's been an every man for themselves situation here. People are really upset by it. I feel like this is not normal for Denmark. This is like a level of inefficiency that they don't often see. You know, the country normally runs better than this. So yeah, that's it. Thank God for my 2 sandwiches. I also brought an entire liter of water, which is also great. I mean, there's water you can pay for, but that'll probably run out soon, to be honest, because we're stuck here indefinitely. It's not that bad. But I do have a penchant for drama, so this is probably the last you're going to hear from me. I'm joking. I'll update you every like 10 minutes. I also won't do that. Okay. I'm waffling. I'm going to go back to my warm, comfortable seat and stop sitting on the ground like a freak. Everyone's been staring at me who walks past. Okay, bye guys. Bye. Hey guys. Train Diary 2.0. So it is it's 4:36. I've been in the train at this platform since 1 p.m. It's like 3 hours and 40 minutes. The sun has set. We're still on the train. And it's really bizarre because like a lot of people, check my legs on, a lot of people chose to get off. So the train is like mostly empty now. They've given us free tea and coffee and they're offering us free oatmeal. I don't think so. But yeah, like the train is like mostly empty. It's the most bizarre thing. And sitting in a platform whilst the sun sets, it's got really creepy vibes. It's got like beginning of a disaster movie kind of vibes. And so the town that I could have gotten a taxi to, I can't remember how much of this I said or who I've said what to, because I've been stuck on a non-moving train for 3.5 hours. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself, okay? Forgive me. And no, I will not edit myself out because it's too much work and I'm lazy, damn it. Do you know how much work it is to edit a video, to produce video every single day when you're just starting? Yeah, so, you know, don't give me that shit. Where was I? the town. So some people got off the train to get a taxi to go to a different town because we heard the trains were going from there. Then we heard the trains weren't going from there. So people then got back on the train. Then we heard that trains were going from that other town. So then a whole load of other people left. Since we've heard, apparently trains have been going from there, but it's like madness. It's absolute chaos there. And I think that's what makes it feel so disaster movie-y. Disaster movie, whatever. Because, like, the Danish people that I've been hanging out with, I got a posse. I had to find people to take care of me, you know, people who spoke the language, the local language. They've been getting reports about how it is in Aarhus, and they're like, you don't want to be in Aarhus. I'd rather be sitting comfortably, safely on our non-moving train than being in Aarhus trying to find public transport because there's no seats on the trains that you can get on. There's like barely any buses because everybody's like trying to get on a bus. And that's what makes it feel very disaster movie-y. Getting reports that there's like madness breaking out in other parts of the country, you know? I feel like in a disaster movie, either at the beginning or the end, there's always like, oh, if you travel to X location, it'll be safe. Then you hear it's not safe. Then you hear it's safe again. That's what it feels like. But so I'm not moving. I'm not leaving. I've decided. They've been trying to get a bus here to pick us up, to take us to Copenhagen. Like, obviously, that's our final destination. So I watched Final Destination for the first time just a few weeks ago. No, like 5 weeks ago. I had nightmares. I'm not a scary movie person whatsoever. I had nightmares. And now I've been thinking about it a lot, obviously. Where was I? I don't know where I was. I don't know where I was because I've been on a train for too long to know things like where I am in my sentence. What the hell was I talking about? Well, you know, I don't know. I've decided to stay put. Buses. They're going to try and get us a bus. But recently they said there's probably no hope of getting a bus. But also, even if they did get us a bus, apparently they would just be taking us to Aarhus, at which point we'd have to fend for ourselves. I don't think so. I have a seat on this train. I want to stay on this train. There's power. I can charge my laptop. It's working away nicely. I don't need to go anywhere else. Don't drop me off in Aarhus to fend for myself. I don't speak the language. For God's sake. So apparently this happened quite a few weeks ago and the trains were up and running by 6 p.m. So that would be in like an hour and 20 minutes, but it's not guaranteed. So they said that 6 would be like the earliest we'd be going anywhere. And they don't know. They've not put a number on the latest we could be going anywhere. But I just think I'm going to see it out. You know, I'm going to see it out on this train. I'm going to see how long I can go. I've got my second sandwich still, thankfully, and a whole huge bag of crisps. But the crisps have been really uncomfortable to eat in front of everyone because people are running out of food. So I think I might need to share them. Or I could not eat them and keep them all for myself and have them later. I could go eat them in the toilet. Oh my God, I've become that person. I'm that person in a disaster movie that starts hoarding resources. Monster. I didn't think I'd become a monster so quickly. 3.5 hours in and I'm already hoarding resources. Yeah, I should probably share. You're right. I could trade my crisps for other things I might need. What else might I need? Protection? A translator. The amount of times I've had to say today, sorry, what was that announcement? What did they just say? What are we doing now? The group that I'm with, though, they say they're not going to go anywhere without me. And with every announcement, they're like, we're not leaving. This has changed nothing. Being here is the best thing. So I found myself a couple of friends. I should give them my crisps for protection. Continued protection. Okay, guys. I'm clearly losing it. Okay. Well, I'll see you all on the other side. Or I'll see you again very soon. I found an entire empty carriage. I think I'm in like what was a quiet zone. I think I may be in actually what was first class. I say was, because we're in a different place now. There's no hierarchy like first or second class. It's every person, man, woman, child, non-binary folks for themselves. It's terrifying out here. It's rough. Okay, that's seriously. Goodbye. Hey guys. It's train Agnes. I think I live on a train now. No, do you know what? It's worse. It's worse than that. I got chucked off my lovely train. I'm just going to squat on the floor because I don't want to sit on the toilet and there's nowhere else for me to sit. The tripod, just don't question the methods, okay? Okay? This is art I'm making here. All right? So what happened? It got to 5:30 and I was like, there's no way in hell we're getting a bus from our last train. There's no way that a bus is coming for us. And then it bloody did. A bloody bus arrived. At 5:30, they said a bus is coming and you all need to get off immediately. Immediately. We were rushing. We'd been sitting on a train that wasn't moving at a platform for 4.5 hours. And then they made us rush in the end to get to a bus. It was so undignified. On the way off, I asked the train driver. I don't think these trains drive. I asked the ticket woman, I don't know, if I had time to go to the toilet before I left. And she was like, no, you have to rush to get the bus. And then on the way there, in the bus, I realized that, yeah, it was confirmed. We were getting the bus to Aarhus, and then we were totally fending for ourselves. Bullshit. This is their problem. Why didn't they sort out for us to be somewhere else? So then I was like, Aarhus could be an absolute nightmare. I have no idea what train I'm going to get on. Me and my posse, we got partially separated in the bus. I had some of my group left. They were debating whether they should wait and then get a train that didn't... Oh, I've got cramp in my foot. They were debating whether they should wait to then get a train that, like, doesn't stop because another one stopped. We didn't know if we were going to get seats on this train. It was horrible. In the train station, I got separated from everyone I knew. Everyone. And I arrived with 6 minutes to spare. And I got on a train that thankfully Andreas had already booked me a seat on. So I knew that I had a seat. And it's been fine. Like, it's been fine. But man, I left the house. It's going to take me over 12 hours to go from door to door. 12 hours. I left the apartment at 10:30 this morning. And I won't get into the other apartment until 10:30 tonight. 12 hours. The flight takes 30 minutes. What was I thinking? I got the train for fun. Andreas, since I left the house, Andreas did more than half a day's work, traveled to the airport, boarded his flight, flew to Copenhagen, and got off the plane. And that was a while ago. He did all of that in the space time that I've been on 2 trains and 1 bus. Seriously. I'm disappointed in Denmark. The country's normally a lot more efficient than this. Okay, this is that. Oh, God, I touched the toilet. I touched the toilet a lot more than I had to. I feel filthy. Not just from that, just the whole... I'm covered in train, you know? The whole experience has been very grim. I feel like a train goblin, which, surprisingly, I didn't think you could get less... I didn't think you could get less glamorous than a laptop goblin, like I was a while ago. I mean, I'm a laptop goblin pretty often, but a train laptop goblin? Because I've still on my laptop the whole time. Do I have any sage words of wisdom as a mental health professional to myself? Oh, I do think what I've been doing this whole day is pretty smart. Trying to make light of the whole situation on here, telling jokes. Not very funny ones, but sure. I guess I've been focusing on the positives of like that I've been comfortable and warm and had a charger and been editing. Been a laptop goblin, but on a train. I guess, focusing on the positives of my situation. Oh, so I missed my family arrived in Copenhagen many, many hours ago. I was meant to be there 4.5 hours ago. I was meant to have arrived in my destination. Final destination, I don't know. I guess I could still die from here. I can't believe this is my longest YouTube video and it's about getting stuck on a train. Isn't that tragic? I guess art, you know? Art. Okay, guys, I gotta wrap this up. This position, it's not ideal. Oh my God. Okay. Oh look, do this instead. This is fun. Hey guys, it's Agnes. Oh my god, I feel really out of shape just from having been in a train all day. Okay, I should really evacuate because somebody could be waiting for the toilet. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Telling you guys, updating you, honestly has made it more enjoyable, so thank you for being here with me. I think this is going to be the end of the video. I'm going to say goodbye like it is, and if I have any more dramatic updates, I'll let you know, okay? Oh my god. My skin is so bad just now. It's literally laughable. In your 30s, isn't it so cruel that you start getting wrinkles, but you've still got spots? What's that about? Anyway, you're probably not going to hear from me again. Not like ever. I'm not being dramatic. I just mean tonight. I feel like my train journey, all the exciting bits have probably come and gone. I'm here for another 2 hours. So, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here with me for Train Diary Part 1, 2, and 3. Also, not managing to meet my family off the plane, which is the only reason why I chose to travel earlier than Andreas, and he beat me. Isn't that ironic? He beat me there, and I've got the flat keys. I already said that. I know I said that. I'm repeating myself. Okay, guys, take good care of yourself, and I really hope that you don't get stuck on a train or in the arse end of nowhere, Denmark, anytime soon. Because it's not the most comfortable, but I think we dealt with it quite as gracefully as we could have. I say we, because let's be honest, you've been here with me. Okay. Godspeed, guys. Godspeed. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching.